Okay, the Tooth Fairy. Ironic, I went in this one entirely with an open mind. I do think The Rock actually works well as both an action star, as well as these more kind of kiddie-friendly sort of family movies. In this one, he plays a, I guess you could say former professional, because now he's in the minor leagues, hockey player, who is pretty much known for a very rough, aggressive style of play. Pretty much doing things that are next to impossible. Like the first time they really show him on there, he checks a guy so hard into the glass, he shatters it and breaks the guy's tooth out. The guy is then still conscious. If you get put through the glass at a hockey event, hard enough to the point that you break a tooth out, full tooth with no blood, you would be knocked senseless. And then what happens is after he kind of crushes his girlfriend's daughter's dreams of, the Tooth Fairy, he then gets summoned to become a Tooth Fairy for a couple of weeks. What makes this movie kind of work is, for the most part, The Rock is a jerk. There's this kid like, I'm one of the best kids in my area. I want to be professionals. Okay, like you used to be. He'd be like, okay, you're what, 13? Yeah, you're the best in your area. Think about the areas that there are. There's a 13-year-old kid in every single area who's the best. And in some areas, there's a 12-year-old who is just as good as you, if not better. Out of all those kids, just as good, just as talented as you, only a handful will actually make it close up to the point that they might actually make it into the professionals. So he's kind of telling, young kids, you have a dream? That's awesome. It's never going to happen. Your friend, the Tooth. And he's dating Ashley Judd's character, who has two kids, a son who wants to kind of play guitar, is kind of indifferent to the Tooth, and the young girl who is infatuated by him, because let's be honest, he's The Rock. Most little girls would probably love to see a giant, 6'3" strapping man with a phenomenal smile, giving them attention. And then when he becomes the Tooth Fairy, ironically, I will say this: whoever wrote the rules for being a Tooth Fairy in this movie did a very bizarre job. He can't get the text message. If he tries to ignore it, his wings then pop out. And then his clothes change into his Tooth Fairy uniform. He stays that way till he gets the tooth. Sometimes you have to get 2 teeth in one night. Sometimes the kid falls asleep during the day. So for the most part, when he first starts doing it, it's like, okay, so I've got this. There's a toothpaste that makes him small. There's the amnesia dust, which the first time Billy Crystal uses it, and it's that joke, or this is amnesia dust. And that's how it works. How what works? Amnesia dust. And that's how it works. How what works? Amnesia dust. And I was like, okay, that's actually pretty good. There's a scene where, as opposed to shrinking down and trying to run through the house to get it, he knocks on the front door. So picture The Rock in kind of like silk pajamas and wings. Hey, how's it going? Amnesia dust. Amnesia dust. Amnesia dust. Looks at the dog. Amnesia dust. Walks right into the room. Hey kid, give me your tooth. What? Amnesia dust. Got it. Am I done for the night? And of course, like most of the movies, she does go through the transformative process of, maybe I should be nicer to people. And then everything works out at the end. Not bad. The Rock makes it work because, for the most part, he's a jerk. And then when he makes, that actual, like transformation, there is one small plot hole when he makes a transformation, because he does it from learning about being a Tooth Fairy, but they do a scene at the end where it makes everything that he would have learned maybe not mean as much. But all actually not bad for The Rock being a Tooth Fairy.